Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Doing another live chat today. I am really excited to talk to Stephanie. I've spoken to her briefly this morning, just to kind of touch over what we would be chatting about. And hello, how's it going, everyone? So I see her on, so we're going to get her in right now. Easy. Accept. You're a natural. See, look at you.
I figured it out. Look at me. Can you hear me okay?
Well. I can hear you really good.
Oh, good.
Good. Well, hello. Welcome to
look
your
at
first
us.
live.
Yeah, I know. First live.
Yeah.
All right.
Got it all situated there?
Yes.
Good. Well,
ready to go.
I'm very grateful that you taken, I know you're so busy and you got a lot going on, but I'm really glad that you're just taking a few minutes today to just kind of talk about you and all about you. We want to know all about
yeah. I love to talk about me, you know. It's so fun.
Yes. So what I know about you is so you're stage 2 melanoma. You were diagnosed at 25, just like me.
Yes.
You are a TikTok famous mother, and you and your family are just adorable on TikTok.
Thank you.
You gotta check it out. And you have started probably one of the most incredible UPF clothing out there for women currently. It's just such a wide variety. There's so much to choose from. There's so much to offer. And as women, I know we all complain about what used to be as far as UPF clothing and how it was so, it's just bad.
Yeah, it was bad. And it was so minimal. And like the choices, there were no choices. I mean, and even the things I would look at would be definitely marketed towards like either men or like elderly people.
Older
and I was like,
sure.
I really, it was tough to find anything, you know, that met my needs. So
yeah, absolutely. So why don't you just start off by just giving us your melanoma story and how that was like for you and your family, and like kind of just get us started on all that.
Let it roll. Yeah. So I was 25 and training for Ironman Florida. So I was out in the sun like for so many hours every day, and I thought I didn't really do much to protect myself from the sun at all. I thought like having a base tan or like, you know, building up. It sounds so silly to say now out loud.
No, for
that I'm
sure.
like, it's hard to even say it out loud. But yeah, I was not doing anything to protect my skin. I actually thought what I was doing was the right thing, which was building up that base tan, you know, and making sure I didn't get fried because I was out in the sun all the time. And then I was outside running with my sister in a sports bra and shorts. And she was like, hey, Steph, you have a bug on your leg. And I was like, what? And I felt back behind my thigh and I was like, oh, that's a mole. There's not a fly on me. So my family was like, get that checked. And I'm like, I will. But, you know, I had no urgency. I thought even if it was skin cancer, I was not concerned. Like, I was like, okay, well, if it's skin cancer, I'll just get it cut out and and go about my day, you know?
Right.
I could do it on my lunch break. But then when I did get it checked out, I got the call probably a week later, and they were like, they just said, come into the office. And when I went there, they were like, we need to schedule you for surgery right now. And I was like, wait. And then my whole world just flipped upside down, because I was like, surgery. Yeah. Like real surgery in a operating room. Like, you can't just, I mean,
cut this out. Where's the cut it out theory?
Yeah. It just totally, all that information just slapped me in the face. Like, I mean, you understand, you know, there's a group of people that understand, but most people don't understand that melanoma is deadly and it spreads to your organs. Like, I was just like, what? And I was working in healthcare. Like, I was working in a hospital, and I had absolutely no idea. So it was shocking, to say the least.
And I'm sure your family probably, I don't know if you guys have a history. Are you the first melanoma in your family?
No, I'm not actually. My great aunt passed away from melanoma, and she had it on her arm, which not at the time she was still here. She had it on her arm 30 years before. Like, she had been clear for 30 years when I had my diagnosis. So I was like, okay, great. It ended up coming back in her spine, and she passed away from melanoma, which was, again, just tough to deal with, because I'm like doing the math, and I'm like, okay, I'm 25 now. If it comes back in 30 years to get me, I'm still young, you know? So that's, yeah.
Oh, that got my heart right there. That just is like my very, 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 obviously anyone's first fear, or like a big fear of having reoccurrence, but to go that long, and you kind of feel like you're home free beyond anything of like 10 years. And but that's just something I think we will all always live with, is the fear of that reoccurrence. So having that in the family, and then having to deal with it as yourself, I'm sure that fear just like hung over your head.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it still does. I mean, I know you can relate to the 5-year statistics that are so, I remember looking at that when I was 25, and it's like, if it's stage 1 or stage 2, 98% chance of survival for 5 years. And I was like, that doesn't mean shit to me right now. Like, what is so 5 years when you're 25?
Nothing. It's nothing.
So all the 5-year statistics are, you know, it's great that we have that information, but it's like, okay, well, what about
beyond?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing about statistics that are so scary, is like, they use them, and they literally only have that 5, 6, 7 year maybe, but like the statistics beyond that are so rare that it's like, I remember looking at the same thing and going, so I have like a less than 5% chance to make it to 5 years. Like, I'm 25. I have 2 very small children. So I'm never going to see anything that has to do with their life. Like, that is my life. This is what I'm dealing with. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that is, people, and the fact that that's not known as well. Like, when you tell people, like, oh, I just got diagnosed with skin cancer, they're like, all right, okay. So anyways, and it's so much more more serious than people realize.
Absolutely. So, I think that's why I like people like us, and the many people out there who just literally repetitively over and over again can say the same things 1,000 times over, is to get a skin check, go to the dermatologist, wear your sunscreen, wear UPF clothing, all these things. And yet people still feel, well, that can't happen to me. And it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. It's very frustrating. And I'll never forget, there was a girl on, and I could relate to this, on a group of people that have melanoma. And what she said was, I actually felt relief when it spread to my brain so I could tell people that I had brain cancer. And I was like, whew, like, I get that, you know, because then people will take you seriously.
Yeah. Yep. I get that too.
Which a lot of people do that. They'll call it, it spreads to their lungs. They'll call it lung cancer.
Lung cancer.
It'll spread, you know, I mean, and that's a big part of the awareness, is first of all, like, let's call it what it is. It's melanoma. It's skin cancer that has spread. But I do see that a lot, even talking to other people with family members, and they're like, yeah, they had cancer a while ago and now they have brain cancer, or now they have tumors in their spine. And it's like, I always have to go back and be like, you know, that it's melanoma.
It hasn't changed. The title hasn't changed.
Yeah. But I also get why patients and people struggling with it would call it whatever organ it spread to first, you're going to call it that. So people will take you seriously, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So for your story, you went ahead and had your white excision. Did they put that blue dye in and everything to check and see if it had spread?
Yeah.
And so what were the results?
Everything came back. They were able to clear it with the white excision, and my lymph nodes came back negative. So after that, it was just the, you know, the constant skin checks. Since then, I've had 2 in situs, which they can handle in the office, you know, to get that excised. But the big one was definitely the most shocking. I also had no idea. I think because it happened so quick too, they're like, we have to schedule you right now. Yeah. That I was not prepared to. I thought I was going to take a few days off of work. Like, but I was in a brace from my hip to my ankle. It was really tough. And I had at that point, I went through childbirth and I had a few surgeries, and I was like, this is going to be nothing. But it was really tough. I tell people now, I'm like, don't, you know, just because you have to have it quick and because it's skin cancer, like, be prepared to be out of commission for a while. And I had, with the lymph node removal, I mean, I also tell people, like, my leg will forever not drain properly. You know, that's another, is the lymphatic drainage. I got one of those big seromas. Did that ever happen to you, where it like fills with liquid?
No, I've heard of it, but that did not happen to me.
Oh, it was, so I had the lymph node removal in my groin. So I'm walking around at 25 with this huge bulge in my groin from a seroma after having lymph nodes removed. And I'm like, the whole experience was so shocking and life-changing that, you know, you're just not the same, and you feel that responsibility to share with others that, you know, this isn't what we think it is as a society in the United States. Like, it's not, no big deal. It's not just skin cancer. So
it's quite amazing how your mentality goes from like this huge, like, oh my God, this is my life. You're feeling kind of sad for yourself and you're going through all these emotions. And all of a sudden, I just feel like a switch goes off where you're like, well, I have to tell people. I've got to start waking up the people I know, the people around me, you know. And I think this is what leads into where you are today. And correct me if I'm wrong, with your UPF company. Like, I don't know, was it something like that for you, where you were just like, okay, you know what, I need something better?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, when I fully recovered and I went back to, you know, now I had this different lifestyle of being really aware and seeing my friends or family members, if they had like a little bit of if they had sunburn or laying out in the sun. I mean, all of that stuff just sticks out to you so much more. But when I went back to training and I was shopping, you know, for athletic apparel, I still live in Florida, you know, so I'm looking for things to just fully cover up, and I couldn't find anything that was remotely made for someone like me, which is a younger, healthy Florida girl. I mean, and it made me sad for other young women. Like there's nothing, no one's showing them how to live an outdoor lifestyle in the sun in a healthy way.
Right.
And that really, it bothered me. I mean, obviously enough to make my own. So
yeah, and that's the thing. I like a lot of people after skin cancer, they're afraid of the sun and they're afraid to go out, and they don't ever want to be out there. But the hard part about that is like you can never stay afraid of anything, or your mentality or anything. It'll just hurt you in the long run. But this, especially, like I feel like in 2022, there's so much. I find these little pockets in these UPF companies that are really trying to change the whole dynamic of what you can look like outside and feel good and confident. And so you developed your company, Try Serena, in what year was that?
2016.
Oh, so it's just a baby. Just barely new.
Yep. Yeah. This month is actually the 6th year anniversary of the brand.
Oh, wow.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been really fun, and it's also been interesting. You know, I'm fortunate I get to talk to a lot of people. I get to hear a lot of like, don't those sleeves make you hot? And I'm like, have you looked at people that live in the desert or the rainforest? Like, look at people that live in the hottest climates, you know? And it's coverage from head to toe. So when you go back to hearing doesn't that make you hot? It's like, well, it's not a fleece, you know, it's protecting my skin from the sun beating directly down on it. And I will say, you know, now I couldn't go any other way. Like if I was out in the sun in a tank top, I just wouldn't. But it's so much more comfortable to be in long sleeves in the sun. And it always, whenever someone says it now, like, oh, like I can't wear sleeves, the first thing I say is like, have you ever tried? And the answer is 100% always no. I have never tried. Okay. Like, let's try, you know, let's get your skin healthy. Let's make this the norm. And and now that I'm 34 and you're seeing like age spots and things like that, and I'm seeing it in my peers, and it's like, those aren't freckles now, ladies.
Right. Yeah. Those
are age spots. That's sun damage. And they a lot of times will repeat this cycle of okay, I'm starting to get pigment and age spots, so I need to lay out in the sun to camouflage my age spots.
Yeah, to cover up the damage. So I'm going to re-damage the damage.
Yes. And you can fix pigment and those brown spots and age spots pretty quickly when you're using daily UPF clothing and SPF. Like they do fade. So that's something that I like to tell people, like, don't repeat that cycle of tanning to cover them. You're making them worse. Like, let's get your skin healthy and get it healthy quickly by through sun protection.
Yeah. So when you first started the company, did you have just one or two things, or did you have a certain vision in mind for your company? So how did that all come about?
Yeah, well, what I really wanted to start with, since I was doing, I went back to training for Ironman Florida. The biggest thing I wanted was just a full coverage, multi-sport outfit that I could get wet for swimming, cycling, and running. And I could do all of those things without having to layer. I remember I would like pull my socks up real high. I got like knee cooler. The day I started the company, or decided I was going to start the company, was the day I probably had 7 different pieces of clothing on to make one outfit. I had cooling sleeves.
Wow.
I had, you know, short sleeves, a top on. I had shorts, knee covers, high sock. Like, I was just putting all these things
Layers
together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is crazy. This is just stupid. Can I just get one outfit? I would have paid anything to get one outfit. Like, it, where I could be outside and feel comfortable in. But I couldn't. I ordered things from other countries. I mean, I was just on this hunt.
All over the place.
And it just turned out an unsuccessful hunt. So that was what I started with.
So currently for your UPF clothing, so I'm wearing by far this favorite hoodie, I think. And I think it's is it a #1 seller, this hoodie that you have? You have it in different colors, but.
Yeah, the hoodies are actually like, probably now we're the most well-known for the hoodies. So we just also launched like a mint green one, and they're super lightweight. As you can see it on the camera, and that color. I always say that color's great on you.
I love it. Everywhere I go, someone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, like that fabric." And it is super lightweight. And I'm in the desert, and it is like the weather gets up to like 110 in the summer and beyond.
Yeah.
And right now it's like 97 degrees already. And I've worn this, don't be a knocking, but I've worn it days in a row because it's so comfortable and lightweight, and I feel super safe. And I even, wear this and I don't get super hot. It's not like it's trapping my head like some hats would, And it's got this, of course.
I know, I love our thumb holes. I'm like, because now that's another thing. Yeah, when I'm driving, I'm like, oh, I don't want to get old hands. So I get like which again, before I used to have driving gloves, which I still have driving gloves for the days I'm not wearing Serena if I'm going to some function or something like that. But this, I feel so much better when I'm driving like this. Because if I don't have it, I'm just like this, your hands just get pounded in the car. So
for sure, definitely. And so when your clothing, you were mentioning that is it all of it waterproof or certain items?
So most of it is good to swim in. So it's really quick dry, which it'll say on the website if it's quick dry. Like we have full outfits. Our pocket leggings, you can wear, they're still chlorine resistant and saltwater resistant. Like you can wear them in the ocean or in a pool. But that would say, the quick dry material is like that. And then even the swimsuit fabric is, it's just it doesn't hold the water like rash guards, or if you were to just wear, some people will wear like a cotton shirt out on a boat all day, and it just kind of stays wet. So the fabrics are really, really nice.
Yeah, because you offer swimwear in short sleeve and long sleeve.
Yes.
And don't they have like a little quarter zipper here?
Yep. Yeah. There's a little zipper. It's a quarter zip. They're a wear all day type of product. You can put it on and like forget about. My biggest issue is the shoulders. If I don't have my shoulders covered, I mean, I just won't even. I won't go out. The sunscreen doesn't cut it for me at all. And it never really did, except for on my face. I'd have to reapply, and I would still see, some damage from the day. So the UPF clothing was just my kind of put it on, and then I don't have to worry so much. So
it's a safety net, I think, for people who've gone through skin cancer. It does make you feel more comfortable and safe. And I have yet to try your leggings, but that's like next on my list as far as something to give a try, because the fact that they're UPF and the sun beating down the way it does on us in Arizona, it's something I would definitely like to look into. And
Yeah.
the sizes for your clothing, what's a variety for that?
So it ranges from extra small to 3XL, depending
Okay.
on the product too. Some of the
Yeah.
stuff we don't offer the full range of sizing, but anytime we can, it's extra small to 3XL. So we really try to meet the needs of
Every
all
size.
women.
That's amazing. That really is.
Yeah.
Um, so what are I guess like you are one of the warriors on the Stop Melanoma page, and one of your quotes I really like that you gave was it's just cute. It says cover up buttercup,
Yeah.
which I feel like is catchy, and it really just puts it all into perspective because, at the end of the day, no matter who you are, skin cancer or not, us people as survivors and fighters are trying to change that norm of being covered up is not a bad thing. It's not,
Right.
you're not gonna stick out as a sore thumb in, this type of adorable UPF clothing that is changing every year, and you put out different designs, it looks like, relatively frequently
Yeah.
to keep up with, the demand of what women want. So
Right.
how does that go about when you're choosing certain looks and stuff like that?
Oh wait,
Is
sorry,
it
you cut
just
out. How does it go about what?
how do you go about choosing a look for, your brand?
Oh, well, we look at like all of those, the trend forecasts, and my favorite thing to do is to kind of take um really trendy items that are made for maybe the cold, and then switch, like that hoodie, for example, that you're wearing. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, hoodies are super, super popular. How
Yeah.
can we do this and switch it to the sun protective, moisture wicking fabric, and just kind of flip it upside down and make it for sun protection is what that's usually what I do. Is I'll look at things that are made for colder climates, or and kind
Hmm.
of use those trends, and like you said, to kind of camouflage it in to where you're
Hmm.
not just out there with
A
a
blanket or
big,
a
yeah,
satchel over your
yeah,
head.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So then
that's
you're
great.
just like, okay, cool, I'm staying trendy, I'm feeling cool,
Hmm.
and you know staying sun safe at the same time. It doesn't have to, it's actually so much easier
Oh
to
gosh,
take
yeah.
care of your skin in that way. So
Yeah, it's
that's
just changing habits and adding new habits in. It's relatively the simplest adjustment I've made in all of this.
right, right.
Yeah.
It's so simple, and then there's all these other benefits to it, like your skin is healthier. I mean, your skin looks amazing. Like it's
Oh,
that
thanks.
daily sun protection just does
Hmm.
so much for someone's appearance, especially when it comes to aging. Like it's like
Yeah.
just do it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally, if you can go get the Botox and the fillers, you can slap on the sunscreen because it's literally long term.
oh,
It's
totally.
going to help with all of that. And I think people don't really just don't register how significant that is for your health long term.
Oh yeah, for
You know,
sure. I read something the other day that was like, if you're getting Botox and fillers and you're not using daily SPF, you're wasting your money. And I'm like, that is so
so
true.
accurate. So accurate.
And it's what a lot of people do, is they'll spend all this money on skincare and Botox and fillers, and then not do the one thing that is
Hmm.
like, it's the most anti-aging thing you can possibly do, is sun protection. I mean,
Yeah.
so, but it's getting that out there, kind of flipping the thing that always bothers me is the healthy glow, um
The face
or
tan, all those
yeah,
things.
we
Yeah.
still look at it as something that's healthy to do, and it's where the beauty standard is like a bronze goddess, gotta lay in the sun,
So
get my
true.
tan on, like it's a healthy thing you're doing. And it's definitely a luxury to be able to lay out in the sun, but that's
Hmm.
not what you want. It's doing the opposite. It's
Hmm.
just, so that gets
Absolutely.
frustrating when just that the society's standard is that laying out in the sun is good for, it's self-care. Gym
Right.
tan laundry, do you remember that? Like from
Oh, I do remember that.
what was that?
What show
The
was that?
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, Gym Town
Gym
Laundry.
tan
Yep.
laundry. Okay.
Always
And like,
GTG or something. Gym
yeah,
GTL.
yes. And I'm like, okay, the gym is how, that's another thing is like tanning beds are always in the gym. I mean, I used to work at a gym. I
They
would
are.
go, so it's like you have a free tanning bed
Yep.
after you work. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why are we putting tanning beds in
In the,
gyms?
yeah.
You might as well have a smoking room in a gym for people to smoke cigarettes. It doesn't make any
Yes.
sense. And it's like,
No, so true.
why are we correlating tan with health? Like
Right.
it just doesn't make any sense. So
So true. So absolutely true. What
yeah.
advice can you give somebody who's like just starting out a skin cancer journey? Like, what would be your biggest advice to them?
Well, definitely cover up buttercup, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, but also to, stay positive. And honestly, the advice I would give is to share, spread awareness and help
Mm-hmm.
share, because now you have a person that understands, um, firsthand what that's like, to not just ignore it or not, okay, I don't want to sound dramatic, it's just skin cancer, so I don't
Yeah.
want to tell everybody. Like, that would be my advice, honestly, is to help spread awareness and make it normal to protect
Talk
yourself from the
about,
sun and speak about
yeah.
it,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
A lot of people feel that like stage one and stage two is not a valid point to be able to talk about awareness. And I have always like tried to encourage people. I don't care if you're stage zero, if you're stage four, if you're any stage, the staging doesn't matter. It's your story matters, what you feel matters, your feelings matter, how all of it. It all
Right.
matters. And yes, like I felt the biggest healing for me has just been talking and talking to other people like yourself and just learning so much.
Right. Right.
It's
No,
been
for
huge.
sure. Definitely talking about it. And like you said, no matter what stage it is, because if you've been through it, for a fact, if you have to go, for me, for example, things came back negative, there's
Hmm.
no way I was just going to shut up about it.
Yeah.
It's like this. I mean, there was a week of time where I thought I was going to die. Like,
Yeah.
I was a single mom. Like I mean, like, what am I going to
Yeah.
do with
My
my
kids.
son? Like, what do we do here? And how,
Hmm.
after being so fortunate for it to have not spread to my organs, like, how dare me not tell people?
Yeah, no, that's a great way to say it. Like it's almost like you feel like I felt like I had an obligation as a person going through this to warn people and just to drill it. I mean, it's like I just feel like a drill sergeant sometimes because I literally will say it over and over and over again, the exact same thing as many times as I need to for people to really hear how impactful all types of skin cancer is. Obviously melanoma being the scariest one, but um, I feel like how you've taken your story and made something so big to be able to help people. It's so huge. Like I congratulate you and thank
Oh,
you for it because um, it's a challenge to get people to hear, and something people like yourself and what I'm trying to highlight this month are people who are taking their story and have created a business or a way to give back. And of course your whole situation was like one of my first people that popped in my head because
oh yeah.
yeah, and I just feel like you've done a great job, especially like I said before, like on TikTok, like you do all ranges of stuff on your TikTok where it's, your family stuff and just that seeing your family and then seeing, you know, you talk about skin cancer, it just makes it feel really real for people that you can still have a life beyond it, beyond the challenges you faced and the fears that you still have, regardless of how many years it's been.
Right.
You have and have created something with your family, and you know, you've been married since then, and like all these great things have happened in your life since
Yes.
your diagnosis. Like there is life beyond cancer. It is a challenge, obviously, and there will always be that, you know, but you're just that type of story that I think people really should hear about.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a really great experience, you know, trying to spread awareness and get people to get skin checks. And even on when I make my TikToks, I try to have a good mix of, here's my family. Okay, now I'm throwing another skin cancer one in there.
Yeah.
Okay, here I'm gonna make this funny sound or do a silly dance, but here I'm gonna try my best to tie it back to skin cancer and make sure I'm spreading awareness in that way. It's so important to me, and I care a lot about it.
Yeah, you can totally tell. And for your current treatment, I mean, you never did have to do treatment, right? It was just the surgery.
Correct.
And so what is your how do you go about doing things now, since you are, you know, a survivor of it? So what's your plan? Like skin checks, what scans?
Yeah, so right now, well, now I just had another squamous cell on my leg and a basal cell on my arm. So I'm back to, honestly, I'm in the dermatologist every 3 months. I have to go back again my next one's in July. So it's a lot of dermatology visits. I have a yearly oncology visit where I get a PET scan every year to make sure it hasn't come back. I was actually just looking at, there's a new-ish like blood test. I don't know. Have you heard about that? Like a blood test for melanoma. I did genetic testing. But I want to look into the blood test more, because if I don't have to do a PET scan, I mean, a blood test would be great. So I need to dig in.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that. I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit out of the newer things just because I'm not in the doctor's office as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be cool.
Well, and I think it might have been in the I think it might have been still in the trial period, but I was like, it was the Melanoma Research Alliance. I want to look more into that. But yeah, for me, my life is now consists of a lot of dermatology visits and then the yearly oncologist for scanning. So,
and is your body like, do you have a ton of moles all over your body, or are you just like
yeah, I do. Like more, I'm way more freckly than I am.
No, that's good.
But anytime I get for example, hang on. Let me see if I can see this in the camera. Do you see this more? I'm like, okay, that's probably a basal cell. So like anytime I see anything different, I'm just like, okay, I gotta go back to the dermatologist. But I have a lot more freckles. I mean, I'm just covered. I don't think there's anything that's not freckly. So I'm just one big freckle.
Covered from head to toe. Do you so at home, are you always like, are you like this at home? Like when you're in the shower, you're just like, okay, what do I got going on here? Or do you do like skin checks like at home? Like, are you like mark them on your calendar? Like, how do you take care of that?
Yeah, I see them now, like right when they start popping up. Like, I mean, and people ask me on their body all the time. Like, they're like, wait, do you think this is something? I'm like, well, if it was on me, it would be. So like, you know, go get it checked out. But I see them the second I have a little red dot. I'm like, okay, let me take pictures of it. And then with basal cell and squamous cell, for me, sometimes they'll go away and then it'll pop back up. So sometimes, you know, I'm like, okay, is my body going to take care of this, or am I going to keep that like itchy? If you have like, I mean, and just for anyone who's on here, if you have like an itchy spot that is not healing, go get that checked. It's not, it doesn't always, basal cell and squamous cell for me have never looked like moles. They've always been like just kind of irritated areas, where you're just like, oh, why is this itchy? Or, oh, this spot doesn't seem to heal. Or if you have a scab, then it's like, why isn't it healing? It just kind of keeps, it just kind of keeps scabbing over. Like you have to go get that checked out.
Yeah. Currently in your family, are you the only one managing skin cancer, given that your family member passed away?
Yeah, I think I'm the only one with like constant reoccurring skin cancers. My mom had a squamous cell right here on her chest fairly recently, within the last few years. But yeah, other than that, but everybody in my family gets their yearly skin checks, obviously, because else I would fight them, you know?
It's coming. Yeah, exactly.
You're going to fight somebody. So yeah.
So do you, for your skin checks, so you have had melanoma, squamous, and basal. Those are the 3 you've managed? Okay, wow.
Yeah, I'm so lucky.
You are. Just like they want to give you all of it.
The trifecta. Yep, I've had it all. So I have a great eye now. I always say, I'm like, I could just decide to be a dermatologist tomorrow, but not really. I'm just kidding. But I can spot them from the time they're really, really early. And that's been a great thing too, is I've been able to catch things very early on myself, to where I don't need a bigger scar than, you know, it's been pretty minimal there. So I've been fortunate.
That's really good. Well, you definitely are very diligent on your skin. And I mean, can you imagine, had you just kind of ignored some of these spots, who knows where you'd be right now.
Yeah.
And that's the great part about like learning and educating yourself. Like I tell people all the time, educate yourself. If you don't want to hear my story and what I got to blab on about, that's fine. But just take the time do not Google, stay off Google, everyone.
I know.
And get on the proper sites that will help you educate, because you could be saving your neighbor, your friend, your boss, your niece. You know, I'm always looking at my younger nieces and nephews, and you know, it's just, even if you're not somebody who's been through skin cancer, I mean, just having that education can only benefit anyone, yourself, you know.
Totally.
Huge. Education,
for sure.
Everything.
Especially for young girls, you know, I tell them all the time, like, you think it's not gonna happen at a young age, or you won't start, you're gonna pay the price when you're much older, and that is just not accurate at all. You know, and you don't even have to look at mine or your story. Like it's a statistic. Like it's proof. I mean, we have the numbers, and you'll start seeing your skin aging so much earlier. Like it's not just a few years earlier. It's like your skin is going to start aging so much earlier. You're gonna have age spots in your 20s, not in your 40s. Like it's gonna happen.
On my hands.
So I try to, it's like, if you're not concerned with the cancer part, at least be concerned with your overall skin health. And that was a big issue for me when I went back to training around a lot of athletes who are doing everything right for their health, everything right for their, you know, their diet is on point. Obviously exercise is on point. They drink the recommended gallons of water every day, but they're missing the largest organ of the body, and that's the skin. And it's like, how did we get here? You know,
Yeah.
where that's what's going on. All these health conscious people are just, there's this
You're
big
skipping.
oversight.
Yeah,
So
skipping the biggest part,
yes, yeah. So that was
Absolutely.
also like a wait, like within the whole process for me, like none of this makes any sense. Like, why
Yeah.
are we not paying attention to
I
this? Like,
know.
it's crazy.
It's
So
so true. It is. It's hard and frustrating to watch
yeah.
people lay out and people tan and do all this stuff where you're just like, oh, just listen to me,
I
you
know,
know?
I know, I know. We can only
Yeah.
do so much, but
Yep.
it's something that it like I'm very passionate about. I know you're very passionate about.
Hmm.
People like us care deeply for
Yeah.
other, to share our story and help spread skin cancer awareness, and that's so important.
Yeah. And you were actually on the news yesterday.
Yes,
And is it your local news, correct? Was that what that was?
yes.
Yeah. So, do you have that somewhere where people can watch
Oh,
it
yep.
or?
I need to put the full, well, I think the link is still on my story right now, but
Okay.
it might be running out. But I
Okay.
need to put it on my actual feed. I think the link is in my story though, to see the full video, and I kind of talk
Yeah.
about the clothes a bit more, but we
Hmm.
also have what you're wearing is we're gonna do a giveaway on
Yes, we
Monday,
are.
right?
Yes, we are. This beautiful, lovely, lovely. You guys, I'm not kidding. We'll love. Oh, and I do have this one. I don't know if you knew that, but I have this
Oh,
one too,
yes. I
which is
love that.
this one. I get incredible compliments all the time about it. It's between the two of these, and I have like um two other long sleeve like UPF type shirts, but the hoodie is everything to me because I that's what I live in the winter. So this
Oh,
is by
yeah.
far, and I can protect myself when I'm driving and all the stuff. So yeah, they're worth it. And the giveaway is gonna be great. Some lucky person is gonna own one of these. This exact
Yes.
one is the one we'll be giving away. So
Yes.
thank you for that, for giving
I'm
that to
excited. I'm
someone.
excited to
Me too.
gift some of your, well, one of your followers a hoodie. And if a boy can win, right? And gift it to somebody else. Everybody's
Yeah, I mean,
eligible.
yeah, they can give it to their wife, their daughter, their whoever.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
that's
exactly it.
exciting.
So
And that'll be Monday through, when is
we'll
the
do a
giveaway going to
full,
be?
we can do a like a full week, or we can do it till Friday,
Oh,
whatever you
cool.
want to
Yeah.
do.
Well, let's do a full week then, and
Okay.
then give your people some time to win. I'm excited. I'm
Me
excited.
too. I am too. I'm
Yeah.
really excited. So grateful we got to do this and chat. I
Yeah.
feel like, honestly, I feel like when I do these, I feel like by the time I'm done, that I've known you forever.
I
It's
know.
just
Well,
so
that's what
like,
I know. I feel like I've known you, and it's funny. There's a few people online where I'm like, I just feel like I know them so well, and it's
yeah.
a really cool, it's a cool experience, you know, because we share a lot of similarities and have
Hmm.
obviously the same mission. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's been great talking to you and
Yeah.
seeing all the things that you share as well. I have a lot of, you know, I admire that very, very much.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so if there's anything else you want to touch on that I may have forgotten, but if not, I appreciate you being here with me. Like, it's been
Yeah,
really
not a
fun.
problem. I think
It's been fun.
that's all. And well, thanks for letting me do my first live with you.
Oh, yes, anytime. We can do it anytime you want. We'll
I know, I'm
chit
like,
chat about
I'm
life.
nervous.
Good
I'm
job.
glad it worked though, and I got on here, and the connection worked totally fine. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm
Yeah, you got lucky. The last one I
nervous.
had was a mess. It
Oh,
dropped
really?
and then it was choppy, and this one was the best one I've done so far. So,
Great. Well, I'm
yeah.
so happy that it worked. And well,
Yeah.
thanks for doing this. I mean, I really appreciate it. And just
Hmm.
everyone who's on too, to keep an eye out for the giveaway. I'll share it on my page and the Try Serena page, so everybody has a good chance to enter and hopefully
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, you have a good rest of your weekend. Actually, it's the weekend already. And
Yes.
we'll talk to you soon.
All right, great. Thank you, Katie.
All right. Bye.